This is Ian from the Apple Power Web Show, and this is a review of the Griffin Clarifi case for the iPhone 3G. So to start off, I'm going to highlight the good points about this case. One, it's fairly affordable. It's only about $20 to $25, depends on where you buy it. It gives you great protection from dropping. I've dropped this a few times. One really nice thing is the screen, it's not flush with the case. So when you like set it down, it never scratches the screen because the screen is always slightly off the ground because of that. That's a really nice feature. Another feature that's really nice is this lens. You were wondering, like, how would this really help the iPhone? What it is just a little plastic magnification lens. So any pictures of text or any pictures, as long as they're not far away, it generally will sharpen them so you can read whatever you're taking a picture of. It leaves all of your reports exposed so you can use them. I haven't really seen any problem with this getting scratched at all because, like I said before, with the screen it's the same thing, how it's not flush. Even your bottom part is exposed, so that's good. And then you can just take off the bottom so you can put it in your iPhone dock, or if you have a universal dock you can just stick the whole thing in there. So this can slide on and off for what you're doing. It's fairly easy to put on and take off, which is really nice. So now I'm going to go over a few of the negatives of the case. One, I had to actually trim away part of the bottom part of the case because when you slide it on right here, it was like sharp a little bit, as you can see on this side. But I had to like file this down because it actually peeled off the screen protector I had on currently, and it kept doing that, and it was doing it a little bit on this side, and like little pieces of crap get under there. Like dust and whatnot. So that's kind of a big negative for me, because I don't ever really want to put on a nice screen protector because it just destroys it. It still does the peeling a little bit, even though I've sanded it off a little bit, so I might need to do that some more. Another thing is, if you have invisible shield or something on here, some kind of skin, you can't put it on because of this rubberized plastic on the inside. I don't have that on the back, but I know someone who did, and he put it on with the invisible shield on the back, and he had to spend like half an hour trying to take the case off. So for most people that's not a problem. So another thing is right here where the lens slides, it gets kind of sticky after a while, so you have to go in there with an air duster or just use your mouth and blow out some of the dust, because it gets like all this like white powder in the lens area on both sides and inside here where the sliding area is. So that's something to keep in mind. Not too big of a deal. So you take your case off about once every day, depending on how dirty it is and where you keep it. You probably want to. Here it gets really linty because if you leave this open, a bunch of lint gets inside and stuff, because I have mine in my pocket the whole day. I have noticed that right here on the Apple, well, I don't know if you can see that, there's like a little scratch from the case. I don't even know how that did that. Something that happened to me, but it was easily fixable, is there's like a big black mark here from when I was sliding this. You can just rub that off, so that's not anything too bad. That's pretty much all of the negatives to this case. Overall, it's a really great case. Besides the whole scratching part, it is really protective for the iPhone. It is a little slippery. Like this is like a slippery plastic, and then bottom and top are rubberized. So a few times I've taken it out of my pocket and I just went flying out of my hand and went flying across the floor. My iPhone is okay. And another thing to take note of is because this is really like glossy plastic, it gets all these little hairline scratches, as you can see right there. So if you don't like that, keep that in mind. You might want to put maybe like an invisible shield on that, maybe. to protect it. I was thinking about that, but I was too lazy to do that. So another thing that's kind of, I don't know, kind of ish negative, not really too big of a deal, that the lens here, after a while, I was talking about the whole it getting kind of like stuck, that it's sometimes I've heard people's like lens right here, that it's gotten broken out. That hasn't been a problem for me, but for some people, that, I don't know if you do that. Sorry, someone's calling me. So that's the benefits and negatives of the case. It slips on really easily. It's a great buy, so I do recommend buying this case overall. So that's all for the review of the Griifin Clarifi case for the iPhone 3G. So if you like this video, please subscribe, rate it 5 stars, and follow me on Twitter at paintballguy113 at twitter.com. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks. Bye.